Have you ever wondered which is the world's most tough examination? Well, it's the Gaokao, which is China's national college entrance examination, and we're here to discuss how difficult it is and what makes it difficult. But before we delve into that, let's understand the importance of education in China itself. So education has been considered one of the key factors of improving one's life, of bringing social economic growth in the country. So the imperial examination system, which dates back to the Han Dynasty, played a significant role in selecting government officials based on their education, competence, and knowledge. Education is seen as one of the primary ways of social mobility in China. High achieving students that are rewarded internationally or get into international universities are considered a national pride, and therefore success in education is seen as an achievement for the country itself. Confucianism has had a profound influence on the Chinese culture and the education system, which emphasizes on self-improvement and improvement in education. Now let's understand what is Gaokao and why it is the world's toughest exam. So in Mandarin, Gaokao translates to higher exam. So like I stated, Gaokao is a standardized national college entrance examination which is modeled on the old imperial examination system in China, which we discussed earlier. Now I say standardized because Gaokao is one singular examination that is held once a year all across 23 provinces, and based on the scores that the students attain in the Gaokao examination, they are eligible to apply for 3,000 plus universities in China. Now if the students are caught cheating, it's a federal felony, and they can be put behind bars for up to 7 years. So the test lasts for 9 hours and up to 2 days, which is a lot. And the scores are taken out of 750. So the closer you are to 750, the higher chances a Chinese student has of getting into one of the top Chinese universities. So now let's discuss what makes Gaokao the most difficult examination in the world. And here are a few points that I'd like to discuss. First of all, every school graduate in China who wants to get into a Chinese university has to mandatorily take this exam, which means if I want to become a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer, an artist, or a musician, and I want to get formal education for any course, I have to take this exam, and based on the scores of this exam, I get into a Chinese university. Secondly, the students can take the exam only once a year. Now this creates a lot of pressure on the students, because if they do not get the desired score, then they have to wait another year and prepare for it. Now there's no pass or fail in these examinations. Based on your performance in the exam, you're assigned a score, and those scores determine which kind of university you're going to get into. Thirdly, transfers within Chinese universities is not permitted. So for example, if I get into a university A and I want to maybe 2 months down the line get into university B, I cannot do that once I've been admitted in a university. Why? Because I'll have to go through Gaokao again to get into that other university. In 2023, about 13 million students took the Gaokao exam, and not even 0.2% of the total exam takers could make it to the top 5 universities. There are a few examples of the questions that are usually asked in the Gaokao exam, and this will give us some understanding of the difficulty of the examination. So there's this question which was, how would Thomas Edison react to the mobile phone? The second was, the more important thing. That's it. That's the question. Another example would be the subtle philosophy of round and square. So here's another example. You are free because you may choose how to cross the desert. You are not free because you must cross the desert either way. I mean, this is kind of difficult, I would say. So we now know that the Gaokao exam is a national level event in China. And here's how the country prepares for the exam. The parents quit their jobs to accompany the students. There are full-time Gaokao nannies who help the students with preparing the examination. Basically, the whole country is on it. The commercial flights are rerouted to avoid any kind of noise that may disturb the students. The roads leading to the examination halls are blocked for unnecessary traffic. Honking is prohibited within the areas surrounding the examination center. Everybody in the country basically they come down and they help the students in taking the examination. Handicapped people are helped around. You'll be surprised to know that some parents even put their girls to birth control just so that they do not get their cycles during the exam. China's Gaokao is often considered as Gaokao factories, and this is because they're criticized for producing high-scoring students that depart from a holistic educational approach. This exam came under a scandal back in 2012 when some students were found to be injecting themselves with intravenous injections. Like I said, Gaokao is a key to social mobility in China, and success or failure in this exam can either lead to a life of prosperity or a life of drudgery. That's the narrative within the community and within the society in China. Lives can just change 180 degrees if the exam goes well for a student. Gaokao is definitely a defining moment in a student's life. Now, critics have complained that Gaokao illustrates the flaws in an education system. It gives more weightage to memorization than independent thinking and creativity. So let me know what you think about the exam, and is it something that we should aim for as a society?